So here's the basic application of the half angle formulas. I'm going to use the examples I'm doing are going to involve sine and cosine. So here's those formulas. Tangent you can find as the other one, but here's how this works. You have to identify, I'm looking at this one first. You have to identify a couple things here, right? First, 75 degrees is not on our unit circle. So we can play around with this idea to figure out, maybe we can multiply this by 2 and it would be on the unit circle. So then we can apply this formula. So, right, 75 times 2 would be 150. So like what we're saying is this is equivalent to 150 divided by 2. And now we can fit this in, and we're picking 150 because that is on our unit circle. And so now, again, all we did was multiply that by 2. Yay, it's on the unit circle, so now we can apply this directly. I'm going to talk about the plus and minus here in a second, so I'm going to put that in right now just to carry it around. So really what we're doing is 1 minus cosine of 150 over 2. Now all it is about simplifying, and then, like I said, I'll say what the plus and minus is about here in a second. So I'm going to keep carrying that around for right now. So then, right, cosine is our x values. So the x value at 150 would be negative radical 3 over 2. So be careful with your signs. This is 1 minus a negative radical 3 over 2. And that's all over 2. So then I'm going to get a common denominator here. And so then we would have this. And then, right, this is a complex fraction. This is 2 over 1, so I'm going to flip it. And we would end up with this. Now we're going to take the 4 outside, right? The square root of 4 is 2, so then the square root of 1/4 is 1/2. And so now we're at this situation. Now we got to figure out this plus and minus part. And you're not going to be asked to simplify this further than that. But let's figure out this plus and minus part. Right, so what the idea is where is the sine of 75 located? And since that's in the first quadrant, our y values are positive there. Okay, and since our y values are positive, we're going to choose the positive version of this. So this would be our final answer. Okay, so then for this next one, again, the thought process goes, okay, 3 pi over 8 is not on the unit circle. What about if I multiplied this by 2? Could that be on the unit circle? And so then multiplying this by 2 gets us to like 6 pi over 8, which would be 3 pi over 4. And so then the way that would work, like visually here, to fit into this would be to say, oh, this is really 3 pi over 4 over 2. Okay, so again, to see if it works, we're going to multiply whatever this is by 2. If that answer is on the unit circle, we can apply the half angle theorem to it, or the half angle formula. Okay, so then I'm here. Again, we're going to deal with the plus and minus part here in a second. But now we're just doing 1 plus cosine of 3 pi over 4. Okay, the x value at 3 pi over 4 is negative radical 2 over 2. And so now we're simplifying again, common denominator. So that'd be 2 over 2 minus radical 2 over 2. That's all over 2. And it's going to simplify basically the same way as this last one. right? Keep, change, flip. We're back to this. Right, we can take the square root of this 1/4. Okay, and then again, how do we decide this? All right, so then the x values for cosine of 3 pi over 8. So like, where is 3 pi over 8? So you got to make sure you think about it correctly. Right, 3 over 8 is less than a half. So this cosine is in the first quadrant. Okay, and so then now we're thinking of what are x, sorry, I'm not on the screen here. Right, so I'm looking at this, okay? And so 3 over 8 is less than 4 over 8. So then 3 pi over 8 is less than pi over 2. So where is that? Well, that's in the first quadrant. What are x values in the first quadrant? They're positive. So now we are